Breaking news: the White House addresses growing confusion over President Trump's funding pause. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with an update on a developing story that has sent shockwaves through various communities and raised questions about the future of federal grants and loans. At the center of this controversy is a move by President Trump to pause federal grants and loans, a decision that is set to take effect in just a little over 30 minutes. As the White House works to reassure Americans, many groups, particularly non-profits, are already voicing their concerns, and in some cases, taking legal action against the administration. To help provide clarity on the matter, we welcome Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and a Homeland Security Advisor to President Trump. Stephen, welcome to the show. Stephen Miller's perspective on the pause. Stephen, thank you for joining us. Now, earlier today, the White House issued a memo attempting to clear up some of the confusion surrounding the order. The memo clarified that this pause does not affect Medicaid, Social Security, or Medicare. However, there has been some confusion, especially with the Medicaid portal facing an outage and the White House press secretary unable to offer a definitive answer on whether Medicaid would be affected. So, let's dive into this. What's the truth behind the pause? Will Medicaid be impacted by this decision? Stephen Miller's response. It's great to be here. First and foremost, let me assure you and your audience that this pause will not affect any services that the government is required to provide. It will not impact any entitlement programs, nor will it interfere with any public assistance programs. So, in short, no, Medicaid will not be affected. Now, let me take a moment to give you some backstory that I think will help make things clearer. After President Trump issued the executive order to pause funding to NGOs that were subtly assisting illegal immigrants, we discovered that certain bureaucrats at the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, were trying to bypass the order. They were attempting to funnel billions of dollars to resettlement agencies and other projects, circumventing the executive order. This became a real issue, and it was necessary for the Office of Management and Budget, OMB, led by Russ Vought, to step in and establish clearer guidance to protect taxpayer resources. This guidance was issued to ensure that discretionary grants of funding, which are not directed by Congress, go through a political approval process to maintain control over spending. Clarification on the impact of the pause. Now, let's address some of the specific concerns that have been raised, particularly by non-profit organizations that rely on federal grants. For example, Meals on Wheels, a program that serves more than 2 million seniors, is among the organizations that is currently in the dark about whether they will continue receiving funding. Their work is crucial in feeding vulnerable populations, and they're understandably concerned. So, Stephen, why the pause? Couldn't there have been an audit or investigation without halting funding altogether? Stephen Miller's explanation. Jake, that's a great question. The simple truth is that once you've spent money, it's gone. You can't get it back. So, if we don't put federal programs under review, particularly those that are wasteful or harmful to taxpayers, we risk losing significant amounts of money that could otherwise be better spent. The pause is essential because it allows us to review these discretionary grants of funding. We've seen numerous instances of bureaucrats trying to push money out the door, money going to the World Health Organization, resettlement organizations, foreign countries, and other places where it doesn't make sense. Let's take a step back. These discretionary grants are funds that are not directed by Congress, meaning they have not been specifically earmarked for a particular purpose. Without proper oversight, there's a real risk that this money could be used for pet projects that don't benefit the American people. In order to protect taxpayer resources, we needed to put a pause on this funding and ensure that it goes through the right channels for review. However, I want to make it absolutely clear that this pause does not affect any public benefit programs, such as Meals on Wheels. Those programs will continue as normal. The confusion surrounding the pause. We've been hearing a lot of confusion, especially among government-funded organizations. The widespread perception is that this is a sweeping order that could impact a lot of vital services, but your message is that it only applies to discretionary grants and not public benefit programs. Could you speak to that? Why, then, was there such a strong reaction from groups and lawmakers, including Republicans, who are worried about the long-term effects of this decision? Stephen Miller's defense of the pause. Let's be very clear. There is zero impact on public benefit programs, period. The guidance issued by the OMB is explicit on this matter. If anyone out there is providing school lunches or running after-school programs, rest assured that this pause does not apply to you. There is no funding disruption for those types of services. But there has been a lot of confusion, and much of it has been stirred up by media reports that did not accurately reflect the intent of the executive order. I also want to address a bigger issue here. The federal government has more than 2 million employees, and it's no secret that a large portion of these employees lean left politically. The American people elected President Trump to bring about dramatic change and to take control of the government, which had long been controlled by career bureaucrats who often pursued their own agendas. This is why it's crucial that President Trump's political appointees review discretionary grants, so that taxpayer money is spent on projects that benefit the American people, and not on political pet projects that have little to no oversight. The role of the media in the confusion. Stephen, you've mentioned that much of the confusion has been fueled by the media, and I want to give you a chance to clarify that. We've seen reports from both conservative and liberal outlets expressing concern about the impact of the pause. Do you feel that these reports are inaccurate? Stephen Miller's response. Absolutely. There has been a lot of misinformation circulating, and it's unfortunate that some media outlets have fueled the fire. But if you look at the OMB guidance memo itself, it's clear as day. The pause applies only to discretionary grants and funding for projects that have not been approved by Congress. It does not impact any public benefit programs or services to Americans. However, I'm not surprised by the media's response. They've been trying to create controversy out of nothing, and that's unfortunate. But the truth is in the memo, and anyone who reads it carefully will see that the facts speak for themselves. Senator Lisa Murkowski's concerns. There has also been concern from Republican lawmakers, such as Senator Lisa Murkowski, who expressed confusion about the timeline for the review process. She suggested that nobody really knows how long this review will take, and that it's been a challenge to get clear answers from the Trump administration. So, Stephen, how long will this review process take? And when can we expect funding to resume for effective programs? Stephen Miller's reassurance. The original executive order called for a 90-day review period, which is still in effect. We understand that this has caused some uncertainty, but let me reassure you that the review is necessary to ensure that taxpayer money is spent responsibly. Once the review is complete, we'll resume funding for the programs that qualify. But this is an important step in making sure that our government is operating efficiently and in the best interest of the American people. Closing remarks. A call for oversight. In conclusion, Stephen, I think we can all agree that transparency and accountability in government spending are essential. While the pause has caused confusion, it's clear that President Trump's administration is trying to take control of discretionary spending and ensure that taxpayer money is spent wisely. As always, we'll continue to monitor the situation closely and provide updates as new information becomes available. Thank you again for joining us today, Stephen. We appreciate your time and efforts to clarify this complex issue. And that's all for now, folks. Stay tuned for more updates as we continue to follow this story and others that matter to you.